धनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् I think she has it as गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Follow it with Yam Brahma, Varunendra.
Oh, that I don't know, ma'am.
Sheetal, you know?
Yes. Yam Brahma Varudendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopaniषदैर् Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tatgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः.
Yeah. So, who else has to join? Sangya
Sangya and Arpita Arjun.
won't join.
Yeah, me.
So what we will do, we will start off with the revision. So by then they can join, or otherwise we will just continue on. So how shall we do it? Ramya, you read the verses. Actually, shall we take turns to do the verses? Aparna, if you are up for it, let me know, because I know Sheetal knows anyway. You can start displaying.
Yes.
First verse, chapter 5. Aparna, you want to try? Anyway, Aparna knows.
Should I start or Aparna ji will start, ma'am?
Aparna, are you ready? Start then. Unmute. With the meaning.
Oh, okay, meaning I think Sheetal will have to show. I have it in my Malayalam.
Start.
Okay. Arjuna Vaja Sanyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam Cha Shamsasi Yachreya Etayorekam Tanme Bruhi Sunischitam. Yeah.
Oh Krishna, you can read it, yeah.
Arjuna said, "O Krishna, you praise renunciation of actions and again the yoga of action. Of which of these two, which is better? That one tell me conclusively."
Next one. I think we'll not do the meanings. We'll just keep going. I'll tell you which ones to do the meaning for. Next one, Arpita.
Arpita.
Sangya, Ramya do it. Then Sangya do it. Then Arpita.
Okay, ma'am. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Sanyasah Karma Yogascha Nishreyasakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sanyasat Karma Yogo Visishyate.
Sheetal. Sheetal. Oh, okay.
Third one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nitya sannyasi yonnatveshti na kankshati nirdvandho hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Sangya. Guys, fast. You should go in a cycle fast. Sankhya Yoga Prita Bala.
साङ्ख्ययोगोऽभ्यतद्बाला प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकमव्यवस्थितः संयुड् अभयो विन्दते फलम् उभयो विन्दते फलम्
अर्पिता
यत्साङ्ख्यैः प्राप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरपि गम्यते एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
Just a small thing because you're pronouncing quite well. Yogam cha. Instead of that, if you say yogan cha, it's more right. Because when cha and all come, cha, ka, the, it is na sound when you see the dot on the top. Okay. Next. Aparna. Same cycle continues. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptu
संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुं मयोगतः योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म न चिरेणाधिगच्छति.
Ramya, fast.
योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मा कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते.
Next, Sheetal.
नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन्
प्रलपन् विसृजान् गृह्णन् निमिषन्नापि इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन्.
So from verse 7 onwards, Bhagavan has started explaining about the qualities of a person who both the karma, in some which are more towards karma yoga, some which are more towards sannyasa yoga, all in all heading towards karma sannyasa state. So one who is devoted to the path of action, whose mind is quiet, who has conquered the self, who has subdued his senses, who realizes himself as a self in all beings, who sees the unities. First thing he's speaking about is unity, the same thing in everything. Next, he's kind of realizing that the sensory perceptions play with the sensory organs. I am separate from that. So next, who is next?
I am. ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि संगं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा.
Good. So no abandoning attachment, acting without being attached to anything. Like in general, I won't just say results. Being with no attachments. Aparna.
कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या केवलैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति सङ्घं त्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये.
So for the yogi, mind, everything is in a state of, lives in a state of yajna. Whatever action he does, it's in a spirit of yajna. Any of you know Kaye, there's another prayer where you kind of samarpayami to Narayana.
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा
Finish it.
बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि.
Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind and senses with my intellect, self, or by my inherent nature, whatever they may be, I offer them all to the Supreme Narayana. So that is the, this verse kind of conveys a similar meaning. Yeah. Now continuing on, who is doing verse 12? I think we stopped at that.
Yes, it's me, ma'am.
Ramya. Yeah. Go ahead, Ramya.
Yes. I'll read and then I'll explain the meaning itself. युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कर्मकारेण फले अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते.
First the meaning.
Word
Yeah,
splitter.
Yeah. Yukta, one who is united the consciousness with God, karma phalam, the results of all activities, tyaktva, giving up, shantim, peace, apnoti, attains, naishtikim, everlasting, ayukta, one who is not united with God in consciousness, kama karena, impelled by desires, phale, in the result, saktah, attached, nibhadyate, becomes entangled. The harmonized yogi, abandoning the fruits of action, attains final peace, while the non-united one, impelled by desire for the fruits of action, is bound. Here, the Krishna says the yogi, the person means the yogi can attain eternal peace because he is free from all his desires and attachments. While coming to a common man, he could not do it hard because of that he is bonded with all his attachments, suffers bondages, and actions are impelled by desires for enjoyment. What he does with means what he is expected with the result, so that he could not reach that, attain that peak. So from freedom will be attained by desireless, and bondage is caused by only the desire. The karma gnana or the yogi who is all perfected enjoys the eternal peace of the Brahman. The supreme peace leads to self-realization. Peace is only the direct result of non-attachment. Coming to a common man who has no attachment. Sorry, a common man. Uh, yeah, the yogi discovers higher joy in Atma. Means who is untainted by disturbing factors, he finds no relish for the low pleasures and the material. And this finally comes to leads to the attachment with non-attachment to supreme peace. All the restlessness means the common man struggles, ill will, hatreds, attached to the worldly objects, and thirst for pleasures, so that he could not attain peace. So the Krishna is the aspirant, the person who tries to reach or should analyze the cause of suffering in the world, so that when he himself analyzes the problem, or then he could or he would be naturally find out the way, the root cause
of the problem.
Means from storms and tempest. What suddenly he feels very higher emotions and all, he'll be out of their minds. So here the Krishna says, when the person or the tries to give up all his attachment, then and the desires, then he could really find the peace within himself.
Good. Thanks, Ramya. Very good. I'm glad
I
you made
tried,
it.
ma'am.
You made a good attempt.
I
Very
tried.
nice. But mainly this
Thank
verse is
you.
concentrating on the fruits of action, abandoning the
Action, yeah.
fruits of action.
Fruits of action.
So, how do you
Okay.
abandon the fruits of action? Question to everybody.
How could we
Abandon the fruits of action.
abandon the fruits of action?
Guys, turn on your cameras,
Without
please answer.
expect.
Yoga, dedicating all the tasks and the results to the Lord,
I'm not
prasad.
talking about us. I'm talking how do you abandon the fruits of action?
That is the crux, ma'am, of Karma Yoga, isn't it?
One
We
of them.
are
You cannot say one of the one of
one
the
of
huh.
the
I mean,
points,
it is
yes.
the main point. You can, sorry, one of the main points. There are just 4 or 5 main points, out of which this is one of the main points. Agreed. But how do you do it?
Like what Sheetalji just said, I also thought the same, that when we samarpana, when we do Ishvara samarpana, like whatever we do,
No,
we
that is developing detachment. Ishvara Samarpana is different. This is something else. You are abandoning the fruits of action. So there's a difference. I mean, there are nuance, kind of, very small differences, but yes.
okay.
So not being attached to the fruits of action.
That is what I'm asking. Who is answering? I can't see. Okay, I am asking you that itself. So what does it mean not to be attached to the fruits of action? Ishvara Arpana,
While
you
we are
just said, I said,
detaching
yes.
our emotional well-being.
Question very simple, guys.
Karma
Fruits
ne
of action.
vadika. So, see, doing karma is our duty, not thinking about the results.
Very good. Yeah, results. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to know about this thing. I'm just asking about the results. So results. What's there's a word for it? Prasada buddhi. It's actually easier than Ishvara Arpana buddhi. Correct? There are 2 things: Ishvara Arpana buddhi and Prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi is what? You act. Whether you do it with Ishvara Arpana or however you do it, you act. Once you act, the results, you kind of take a back step and say, I will put in my best, but the results, I'm okay with whatever the results are. Correct? Okay.
Ma'am, can I ask you what's the difference between Arpana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi?
Oh my
Sorry,
God,
I'm
my screen is not, it's very slow. I can't see your faces at all.
that's
Okay.
Arpita.
Yeah. No, got it, Arpita. Arpita, yeah, there is a big difference, and I'm glad you asked because you should know the difference. So, Prasada Buddhi. See, there again, you might miss the difference, but it's good to know it. Like you'll say, oh, that's all, is it? But it's good you know it. So, Prasada Buddhi is for the results. What happened? Okay. Oh, the screens. Okay. Prasada Buddhi is the results. So, whatever the results are, I am okay with it. I accept it. It might be a selfish task, whatever, some task that you're not doing with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. But the results you can say, give it to, not give it, whatever. It's not Arpana actually.
Accept.
You can accept whatever results you get, rather. Got it, right? There is a difference. Ishvara Arpana is even the tasks that you're doing. So Prasada Buddhi is first. Always Prasada Buddhi is easier. Because whatever, I'm going to take up my exam, I'm not doing it for God. But whatever the results are, I accepted God.
I understand. Now I get it, ma'am. What you're
But
saying is,
Ishvara Arpana is, yeah, when you're, even the task you're doing it with, and I'm offering this to you, God, kind of.
okay. It's give and take. So I'm taking and give. The Prasad Buddhi is give. The Prasad that
the
comes
results.
from.
I mean, it's not really, yeah, the
Like
results. You
God's.
can say prasada. Yeah, fine.
Like,
The way you understood is right. Everyone clear on that, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's something I wanted to ask. Yeah, we can go on to the next verse. Who's doing it? That's a good, nice verse.
that's me,
Sandhya?
ma'am.
Oh, Sheetal, right?
Arpita.
Arpita. Okay, go ahead, Arpita.
Yes, ma'am. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ति सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयेन् सर्व न सॉरी न कार न सर्व कुर्वन्न कारयन् सर्वा all karmani activities manasa by the mind Sannyasya, having renounced. Asti remains. Sukham, happily. Vashi, the self-controlled. Navadware, of 9 gates, pure in the city. Dehi, the embodied being. Na, never. Eva, certainly. Kurvan, doing anything. Na, not. Karayan, causing to be done. So, literal translation: mentally renouncing all actions and self control, the embodied being rests happily in the 9 gated city, that is the body, neither acting nor causing others to act. So, in this verse, what I understood, ma'am, is Bhagwan Krishna, he's emphasizing the fact that if we control our mind such that, so it's about so we control our mind such that we control our 9 senses actually. Okay, such if we control our 9 senses through our mind, that is, do not
Control
let
what? Oh, your 9 senses.
9 senses, they should not actually
Oh, 1 minute.
dictate.
Oh, no, not 9 senses. What do you mean by 9 senses?
9 gated city, that is
That comes
said.
later. Yeah, that
Yes.
comes later. Those are the 9 openings or the orifices.
Okay. Yeah, correct.
So it's
So
not the
at
senses.
sorry. If we control our mind so that these bodily 9 gates, right, they don't affect us, then we can concentrate. We can purify our mind, and we can concentrate and get to the pure bliss. That is what I understood. So by reading
I'll
this,
explain it. A little bit. I mean, look, I don't like saying right, wrong in Vedanta because somewhere that meaning might be right. That's why I don't like to say that. But having said that, the right meaning would be like this: mentally renouncing all actions, which is Ishwararpana, which is what you all were talking, we were discussing in the last verse rather. And self-control. Self-control is important. Without self-control, I will renounce all actions to God, and you are doing all whatever, eating prasada full time, and that is dedicating to God. No self-control. Not like that. They should be, willpower is important. Whatever you do, that's why we do so much of tapas, etc. Because that willpower, that self-control is important. So self-controlled and with Ishwararpana, or mentally renouncing all actions. Not only Ishwararpana, even in the mind you have renounced. This is the karma sannyasa state. Self-control, the embodied being rests happily. So the embodied being, I will explain that in much more detail in a little while, but right now let's take it as Brahman. Embodied being, in every one of us, there is a sutra dhara, right? Somebody who is controlling everything that we are doing. So the controller who is sitting within your body, usually they say the heart space, right? They say Ramana Maharishi school says the heart space is somewhere in the middle or towards the right side, as against where we see our heart, where we know our heart is. So in that heart space, he's sitting like a king. The controller. Who the controller is, I'll tell you in a minute. You know it is Brahman. Ultimately, everything is Brahman. He is sitting there. So the idea of explaining this is for you to realize that you have to associate with that. You have to kind of have that level of disconnect. My body is functioning. All the functions are happening. Even duties I'm executing. But I am disassociated. I am detached. I am like the king sitting in a fort with 9 gates. What are the 9 gates?
2 eye
Navadandras in our body.
nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 1 anus, and the last one I don't know.
Genitals.
Genitals.
So, did we come up with 9? Yeah, we came up with 9. Somewhere else it's 11 and I can't remember what other 2 are. But anyway, 9 is fine. So, he's kind of comparing the entire body to like a fortress. And all the operations are happening. Everything, please remember, what you see, I think I mentioned it in this class also. What you see in an atom, what you see in a body, what you see in the cosmos, it's all related. You see the same thing. So within this fortress, comparing it beautifully to a fortress. I told you, right, this chapter you have some very nice comparisons. One was that we've already come across the Sangya did that words, right? Leaf with a lotus leaf,
Lotus leaf.
in which water never stands. It will be there, but it will never wet it. It falls off. So in the same way, here he's comparing the Brahman sitting within us as a person who is untouched. He is just there. He is getting all the actions are happening because the king is there. But the king by himself, is he doing anything? No. He is just kind of a witness to it all. Clear now, Arpita?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that and I was going to ask a question. The question I had was embodied one. There's a more deeper meaning if you look into it. So I thought I might as well start introducing you guys to deeper stuff. So you can just take it as Brahman and leave it. But if you want to understand more, Brahman doesn't do anything, right? How can you say Brahman, ma'am? One of you could have asked me that question. So Brahman plus Maya equals, anyone wants to answer that? No?
Saguna Brahman.
Very good, very good. And Saguna Brahman is called? Little more, one more guess.
Ishvara.
Very
Ishvara.
good, very good. Yeah, Ishvara. So Ishvara is creation, or literally there is no word called creation. It is projection. That's the right word that we will use. But let us use the word creation, because if we stick to that, you cannot talk in that language continuously. It kind of is very difficult. Maybe we should, that's being correct, but it's become very difficult. So let's say creation. Ishvara, when we say creation, it is Ishvara. Because Brahman just powers everything. He does not do anything. So Ishvara is responsible for the entire creation to happen. Right? And for all the operations that are happening. All the intelligence that we see. Hiranyagarbha comes up very soon for the intelligent operations. So many phenomena that we are seeing all around us, continuously, constantly. So, who is responsible? Main Ishvara is the plus Maya, that is Brahman plus Maya results in Ishvara, which takes up the job of creation. Right? And while creating, he's the one who's controlling like a puppet, right? Like he's sitting there, and each one of us, my digestive system, run. Who is telling me? I'm not able to execute it. Someone is executing it for me. It's my digestive system, I say that. But am I kind of causing it to run or operate or whatever? My heart? Do I say, oh, run heart? No, somebody else is. There's a Sutradhara who's kind of playing the game, who's kind of getting all the operations done. We call him Ishvara. So, ma'am, but isn't that Brahman? You can tell me. It's easy to get confused. Yes, it is Brahman. But Brahman in this role is called Ishvara. Clear, right? Have to very nice to be clear on this, because it's sad when people go up to the Upanishad levels and have no clarity on this. That clarity has to come away. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. I wanted to explain the embodied one, the exact meaning. Next verse. Who's doing it? When do you have to drop off, Aparna?
Yeah, actually, I have to drop now, but I'll chant this, read the meaning, and then drop.
Oh, good. Okay, finish.
Yeah. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावास्तु प्रवर्तते. The Lord, na is neither kartrutvam, sense of doership, na nor karmani, actions, lokasya, of the people, srajati, creates, prabhu, God, na nor karma phala, fruits of actions, samyogam, connection, swabhava, one's nature, tu, but pravartate, is enacted. The Lord or the Atma does not create agency nor action, nor the union of action, and its fruit, but nature leads to action. So, what I had read from one of the books, I'll read that, ma'am. Basically, a repeat of that last part. The Supreme Self neither creates nor any sense of agency, nor does it sanction any action. So, Supreme has no such function as marrying every action to its fruits. And another thing that was mentioned here is basically that if we think about the nose is a permanent fixture on our face. But if we look at a reflection on water, moving water, for example, we'll see that the nose is moving, but actually the nose is not moving. So it's kind of what we see, different from what it actually is. And so the enjoyer of the fruits and the performer of the actions are the ego and not the Atman. I do not shake or shiver, but my reflection can be shaken when the reflecting medium is disturbed. The Atman becomes the performer only when it gets conditioned by Swabhava or the nature or Maya. The divine Maya made up of 3 gunas, as the Lord Himself calls it.
Good. Nice. I wish you were going to stay back, but yeah.
I know, yeah.
It's going to be nice. But please do watch. If you get a chance, do
Will
watch.
do,
I'll
will
be
do.
explaining Swabhava and all that stuff. That's
Okay, okay. Yeah,
okay.
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So what does this verse say? The Lord does not receive either the evil or good of anyone. Knowledge is and sorry, are we on the right verse? No, 14, right? Is this 14? Huh. Just go down. The Lord does not create agency, nor action, nor the union of action, but fruit, and its fruit. But nature, but one's nature, would have been more accurate, leads to action. Right? So, kartrutvam, karmani, karma phala. The 3 factors. Kartrutvam is the sense of doership or the one acting, let's put it that way also. Karmani, actions. Karma phala, the results of action. So every action will have these 3 factors. Now who is responsible for this? Who is causing one to act, to the action to show up and the results to be created?
Karta.
Karta means, okay, the actor you are saying. Is that what you are saying? Yeah. So
Yes.
actor is responsible for, okay, is acting. Actor is acting. My question to you is, what is causing the actor to act? Where is, for the action, the object of action, let me put it that way, to come into picture, and the results to come. So there is a whole lot of things. There's a whole lot of factors, right, for the action to happen.
His samskaras.
Okay, you are talking from you are right, I'm not saying you're wrong. But its nature leads to action. Okay, because of that you're saying that. Got it, yeah. You first said samskaras, you then said, first you said agent, actor, then you said samskaras. Anybody else wants to say samskaras? I think it's right. Actor would have been a very generic answer, but samskaras is right. But something is using the samskaras. Samskaras just don't make you act.
So the body and mind through one's like all the gunas impact, which is prakriti, or one's own nature, which is svabhava.
Oh. So, okay, let me first put it this way. This is where I was trying to come from. First of all, if you remember the verse that you did, Sheetal, last week, I'm sure it was last week. Everything, in nature, everything is happening, right? The frequencies, all that, it's happening. I am just observer. That is what those verses, beautiful verses said. Na? Pralapan and all those, unmission and all those things. So, that is one point to note. Second, but in between all this, within me, there is something that is taking up the ownership of it. What is it? It is my ego. Ego is kind of suddenly coming into picture and saying, my this thing, my action, results are mine, kind of. So the ego is what is taking up the ownership in who you call an actor. Yes, ego is acting based not just on samskaras, Sankhya. I think Sheetal, did you say Swabhava Sheetal? I don't know if you said that. Did you say that?
Yes.
You did, yeah. So based on Swabhava, samskaras and a whole lot of things. Yes, agreed. No, I'm sorry, I won't say a whole lot of things. I mean the results depend on a whole lot of things. Action is done based on his Swabhava and samskaras, agreed. And now basically, my question to again all of you, and I want you to think and answer this. What is Swabhava? I want you all to think and answer that. What is Swabhava? Answer, but please think. Yeah, you all know it.
The innate nature that comes.
Very good. Yeah. How is it defined? I mean, how does it come? You said innate nature that comes. Very good. I'm very happy with that answer. But yeah, how does it come? Arpita, very happy to see the way you and that you're understanding things. Very nice. Good.
It is based, one thing is, it is based on our gunas, and it is like we
Very
carry
good.
it forward something from even our past janmas, you know.
No, then let's
So,
not get into past janmas. That will be samskaras again you're coming to. I'm not saying it's not that, Sheetal. I am talking about sabhava only, which is gunas.
good, the
That
play
doesn't
of
depend on samskaras. Let's not mix samskaras and that. Correct? Got it? Got the difference? So, the innate nature which depends on the gunas. Maybe someone's frequency is so high. Now, please don't ask me which frequency because even I don't have an answer to that. That's not clearly defined. I wish one of us does a doctorate in that and gets to understand that better. But yeah, so the frequency of is so high is terribly rajas. Frequency is so low tamasic. Frequency is, I'm not sure, makes us all a bit this thing when we talk like that. I guess sattvic. Frequency is perfectly kind of aligned. So that is how you define the swabhava of a person. Now, based on once you know the swabhava, how is his action expected to be? Oh, I'm not sure if I framed my question correctly. So, what kind of action should he perform? Rather,
Aligned to his
very
Swabhava.
good, very good. And what's it called then? Swadharma.
Swadharma.
Correct? Because that is the action is tuned into performing. Very good. And in fact, whatever you do, somehow the route will lead you to that. Of course, if you if you make an attempt not to get into that, that is different. But by nature, you will go towards that because your nature is such. Okay. So, yeah. So, it's important to understand Swabhava. Lots of questions come up on, the more you read Karma Yoga, the more questions you will get on this Swabhava, Swadharma, Paradharma, and how does Karma Yoga fit in, and does Karma Yoga apply to the in this modern world? Okay. The Lord does not create agency, nor action, nor the union of action. It cannot happen without His presence. When we say the Lord, we mean Brahman. Even Ishvara, if you take for that matter. You can take it as Brahman or you can take it as Ishvara. And it's fruit, but nature leads to action. So it's not like Ishvara is sitting there and saying, you go do this, you're this thing, like that. He is not doing that. He's defined everybody as their own Swabhava and they're acting based on that. Swabhava plus, as Sangya said, samskaras are somewhere kind of getting him to act. Okay. Yeah, shall we do the next one? I wanted to that Satchit Ananda get into that, but we'll finish one more and we'll do that. Yeah. Who is doing the next one? Sheetal. Go ahead, Sheetal.
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः. Na, not. Adatte, accepts. Kasyachit, anyone's. Papam, sin. Na, not. Cha, and. Eva, certainly. Sukritam, virtuous deeds. Vibhu, the omnipresent God. Ajnanena, by ignorance, Avritam, covered, Jnanam, knowledge, Tena, by that, Muhyanti, are deluded, Jantavaha, the living entities. The Lord does not receive either the evil or good of anyone. Knowledge is enveloped by ignorance, and by it, beings are deluded. So, whatever the results, I mean, good or bad, anything, it the God does not receive. It does not go to the God, or God does not touch it. It is the body, mind, intellect, and based on the karmas, whatever results are there, it is however one performs the karmas, the results also are impacted to oneself, not to the God. So the Brahman is, as we say, he just observes. He's the witness. It's the witness consciousness. It does not, neither does anything, nor any results affect it. So, but whatever actions are being done by oneself, the results, it will generate the results, and the results are suffered by the same self, which is this body, mind, and ego identity, intelligence.
I'll ask you a question, or
Yes.
are you done?
So why no, like second line I will explain, because the knowledge of self, it is covered by the ignorance. So that's why the living beings are deluded by that. We all are we deluded by the ignorance, and in ignorance we are identifying ourselves to this BMI, because still we know that who am I. So till oneself realizes that he or she is Brahman, we all are living with this ignorance about the self, and in that the delusion of self is there, and so we feel all the pleasure and pain and whatever it is happening due to our karmas, that is experienced by us.
Yeah, good, Sheetal.
You can ask
To the point.
question.
Yeah. So the Lord does not. Something keeps coming. Lord, the Lord does not receive either the good or evil, of anyone. Okay. So in this world, you see so much. Sometimes, like I remember that I think around the time when Nirbhaya's case happened, people were like, "How do you explain that kind of evil in the world? Is it possible to explain that? Something so bad happens to certain people. How do you explain that? Really? I mean, does anyone deserve that kind of a punishment? Not only so many people that you see, like literally being so many legs amputated, this, that, everything seems to happen to them only. When you see that kind of misfortunes, how do you justify it? A question to all of you. Maybe you can close it off, Sheetal, now, because I don't think we'll have time to go to the next verse anyway. Huh. How do you justify it, guys?
It's very difficult to justify, because when you see the person might not would have done anything wrong in their entire life, still when they are at the receiving end, and we cannot put it like, oh, it was destined, because that does not answer the question, and maybe it is difficult to answer such questions.
Absolutely, good. But have to remember, you cannot say, why is Bhagwan not doing anything about it? So it's very clearly being said here. In fact, I wanted to, I think I've mentioned this before, Epicurean paradox. Have any of you heard of that? I'll tell you in a minute. The problem of evil, it's called. it is important. Sometimes that's why I relate it so much to science sometimes, and I don't know if it annoys people who are really very full of religion and all that stuff. But if you think about it, he's just there. Actions happen, whatever, it's your gunas, it's all happening. There's all equations that are causing it to happen. And in fact, Swami Tadatmananda, I like the way he puts it. He says the best explanation in any philosophy, in any discipline, be it Christianity, whatever other this thing, if you see the karma cycle, the way karma is explained, that is the best explanation you can give. Because there's no other way to explain it. Also, please remember, your karma definitely is what is causing it. But there are lots of other factors. At the time of you performing that karma, what surroundings you are in, what conditions are there around it. There are other parameters that influence it. Just something to remember. So, yes, ultimately it is important to remember that if you think of God as the petrol of the vehicle, he is just the petrol. The person driving it can crash the car or take it to a destination safely. That is the actor's this thing. He might have been a wonderful person in this life, but he might be carrying something from the prarabdha that he has to live through. And it is the science with which things work sometimes. So, just wanted to, one of the biggest things, this is more the European philosophers, I'm not sure which, it might be Greek, I'm thinking. It challenges the existence of God. So it says if God is omnibenevolent, you know what omnibenevolent is, full of love for everyone. Omniscient, omniscient means knows everything. And omnipotent means powerful, can do anything. How does it go? If God is, but he is not able to, cannot be, if God is omnibenevolent, omniscient and is willing to prevent evil and is not able to. Sorry, I should word it better, I'm not getting the right words. Can someone look it up for me, please? It makes a lot of sense if you kind of read it correctly. If God is omnibenevolent, means all loving and all can do any, all knowing, and is not able to do anything, then he cannot be, now I got it. He is not omnipotent. Then he is not, he cannot is all powerful, because he should be able to do something if he is all powerful. If he is able to do everything but not willing to do solve the problem, then he cannot be omnibenevolent. He cannot be so loving. If he is loving, why is he not solving the problem? If he is both willing and able to prevent evil, then why is there evil and suffering in the world? So this is called an Epicurean paradox, right, or problem of evil. So just something interesting, not that it answers any questions, but important to remember that Brahman is the basic this thing, the foundation on which everything happens. He does not prevent evil, does not control things. Yes, I mean the way things happen, anything can happen at any point of time, right? Like I mean, suddenly people ask me sometimes, Gajendra moksha, how did Gajendra get moksha? I mean, like all these questions are tough to answer in these kind of classes. But having said that, the only answer you give them is if Bhagwan wants or if something has to happen, it can happen. There's nothing that you can that says that it has to run. Everything does run, but then changes can happen as he pleases, right? So that's the only way you can answer that. But having said that, he is just there. That is why it is said that he is like the previous words which said sitting there watching, powering you. How you act, what you do is all up to you, and of course your prarabdha is going to affect you. Fortunately, unfortunately. That's why they say what each action that you do now, sometimes you kind of end up thinking, where will I get all that liberation and all that stuff? Why worry about it? But everything that you build will build up to something in this life or the next life otherwise. Yeah, Arpita.
Ma'am, I understand And I think we all go through this particular
Dilemma,
uh,
yeah, that
yeah,
decision.
right. We all go through it, and it is true that we the way we react to problems, how we respond to our situations, that is how we drive. And God is, like you said, he is more like a witness, like how we are supposed to be. But is it not true that the when it comes to the bigger picture, it has to be him who's driving? um, Somewhere the whole, when I'm not saying about my life or somebody's life, I'm talking about the whole picture, the whole universe. That is why we say he's a creator, or he's the
Very nice,
uh,
beautiful question, very good question. I love such questions mainly because it makes it interesting for me to take a class then. Good. Yeah, it does. Agreed. But there are rules that based on which it runs. Period. It's not like today I fancy this, so I'll run it this way. Today I think I want to make so and so person happy, I'll make it this way. It just works on a certain basis. That's it. Right? Phenomena happen. It's actually phenomena happening all around us. And they just happen in a certain call it scientific way, whatever way, but it just happens. How can you influence it? That's just that one thing I wanted to say. Maybe I'll park that aside. I'll just tell you in a minute. But yes, all that happens. Clear, Arpita? You're not, it's not like it has to happen this way. Today I will change the results, kind of a thing. Did you get it?
no, no, that is not, I'm not saying on the small nuances will God act,
Huh, huh.
or maybe I don't know, but
Overall,
the point.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. The intelligence that is at play is definitely Ishvara.
Yeah, yeah.
Hiranyagarbha, to be more precise, which is the Manomaya and the Vijnanamaya kosha at the macrocosmic level. I'll probably show you that. I thought I'll do more of that when we come to chapter 15 and all, which deals with the causal and all that stuff. So I'll explain all that more there. But something I wanted to say was, I said I'll park that aside. I was going to explain that. Just wanted to highlight this. But sometimes we pray sincerely, and we think that the results happen. Right? How is that then?
Ma'am, I think miracles happen if we
Absolutely.
are sincere at heart.
I will probably share a video with this class after I finish Synchronicity by Carl Jung. That's okay. That separate, but yes, miracles happen. Agreed. Sometimes we call it coincidences, or sometimes we call things that I'm not sure how that could even happen, and it is true, right? And
Sometimes
within
some,
for us as well,
yeah.
even for us, when we pray sincerely, something happens. It does happen, right? How is that possible?
It has to be a higher power only, no, ma'am. I mean, we will.
Shall
I
I?
think
Okay.
if we just observe, sometimes there is, you feel the energy, or
Absolutely.
everything
So,
around you.
when you are saying higher power, I was just going to interrupt. Why? Because you are the higher power. We are the higher power, which we don't understand. We have limited ourselves. Very difficult to understand that. You are realized when you understand that. But one. Two, when you are kind of praying sincerely or affecting the environment or all the factors around you in your own way, because everything is connected. So in some way that some kind of this thing is happening when you kind of do that sincere prayer. So definitely there's a lot of, as you say, miracles and magic and science that is there everywhere all around. And this is not science that we understand, it is beyond science. When you kind of talk about synchronicity, wherein I was seeing a video recently, and I'll share it. Mark Twain was born on the day Halley's comet or some comet appeared, it seems. And the day he died was the day that comet appeared again. So someone was like, can you call that coincidence? Or was there some kind of this thing that was happening? We rule out a lot of things because we don't know how to explain it or understand it. But there's not such things that we get to observe. So there's a lot that happens in the world like that. And absolutely there is a power that is there behind everything. So you guys can question me, ma'am, if you keep saying science and all that, where does the bhakti come in? That's a question, that's a very important question, right? Bhakti has to be there. You have to bow to that supreme power, which has that kind of strength. So that's where the bhakti comes in. Bhakti helps you connect to it, helps you realize that connection to it. So bhakti is important. Just because I say science, it does not mean there's no bhakti to there. But there is a lot of science. When you, I'm not a quantum physics student, but when you kind of read and get into quantum physics and all, you start relating so many things that you are reading here with quantum physics. You guys have time? Shall we do the Satchit Ananda question? That will be important and nice. At least 2 of you answer, the rest can do them in the next class if required. Maybe Ramya and Arpita, but keep answers, don't make it too long. Or someone else, Arpita, you're not ready, prepared? No. Ramya, no?
Not ready, but we'll try, ma'am. As what I understand, what I understood.
Sangya, do you want to try? Sheetal, I don't know, said. Huh? Sangya, I can't see.
Sat means that it is present in all 3 times, past, present, and future. So, being that is present in past, present, and future is Sat. Then Chit is the inner wisdom or Chit. Then Anand is the eternal bliss. So, Sat, Chit, Anand is the eternal wisdom of the eternal bliss that is present in all times, irrespective of whether you were born or whether you have been born or or you have died, but it's there with you with each janma you have.
Okay. Partial understanding, I'll say, but good. There's some understanding at least. But I'll explain it better in the. Maybe, I'm not sure. Let's. Can I explain it? Others can. Shall I go ahead? I don't know. Should we wait till everyone answers? No. You still take a chance. Even after I answer, I'll still ask you guys next week. So please remember, Sat is not past, present. Of course, it is right. When you say past, present, future, it is right. But
Only
that's not,
present.
that
Right?
is. Don't
Only
even think
present.
of it that way. If you want to understand, you have to think of it as existence.
Existence.
It helps you understand better the complicated things later on when you think of it as existence. It is when you talk about an ocean, just the ocean with lots of water in it, the waves, different kinds of waves, still water, dynamic water. What else can I say about water? Foam, everything. Frequencies, whatever you want to call it, all the things that are happening, all the phenomena that is happening. Where is it happening? Ultimately in the ocean. Existence. So existence has to be very clear. We are all in existence. We are all existence. Correct? That clarity has to be there. Chit. What is Chit? It's not the inner this thing. It is the
Conscious.
Correct. What does consciousness mean?
Consciousness.
What does that mean?
Means
It is the intelligence that is
understanding
running the.
or
No, it's not only that. That is only my
getting
part
in.
of the meaning. Understand, Ramya, listen. It is the intelligence that is
Yes.
running the entire world. So that is what they say. You can go back, and suddenly see that at some point you can see somewhere that you're operating from Chit. Chit is the intelligence that runs the entire world. Every single intelligence that you see, be it even in a stone, you'll say that it's not, is there intelligence in it? There's no life in it, you may say. Again, we don't know that, but intelligence at every level, in every phenomena that you see, in a human being that you see, all that umbrella Chit. So the intelligence that is within me, I will explain that a bit later. How that again is, my knowingness is different from my operation. Right? That is different. That I'll explain later. At some point I'll explain that. But any kind of intelligence that you see anywhere in the world, Chit. Okay? Ananda, so At the level of this, it is, I somehow prefer to say Ananta, infinity, Ananda, completeness. Yeah. There is nothing else that you need. Plus, when you say Ananta, it is infinite. So that is what Satchit Ananda. Once you understand where Sat fits in, where Chit fits in, and where Ananda, somehow I'm not sure, maybe I have to understand it more, I'm not sure, but I don't get into that more. Sat and Chit, it's beautiful. If any of you have done Upadesha Sara, there's a question that comes up. Is Sat first or Chit first? Think about it. Maybe I'll answer that in the next class. But I want you guys to repeat what I don't want you to repeat what I said, to say what you understood of Satchitana the next class. Because that's an important thing to understand. A lot of confusion that comes in, when, like a statement when we make all knowing. Sat is not all knowing, Chit is all knowing. Sat is all existent. Once you understand that small this thing, right, your understanding of Vedanta becomes strong, easier. Okay. Anything else? Any questions, or we'll end the class? Yeah. Closing prayers? Sandhya, go ahead.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ श्री